Now presenting the American League champion, Oakland Athletics. Introducing Athletics manager, Tony La Russa. Here is the Athletics starting lineup. Leading off and playing left field, number 24, Rickey Henderson. Batting second and playing center field, number 51, Willie McGee. Hitting third and playing right field, number 33, Jose Canseco. Hitting fourth and playing first base, number 25, Mark McGwire. Batting fifth and playing third base, number 4, Carney Lansford. Batting sixth and catching, number 36, Terry Steinbach. Hitting seventh and playing second base, number 30, Willie Randolph. Batting eighth and playing shortstop, number 9, Mike Gallego. And batting ninth and pitching for the Athletics, in the bullpen, number 34, Dave Stewart. And the rest of the Oakland Athletics. Now presenting the National League champions, Cincinnati Reds. Introducing Reds manager, Lou Piniella. Here is the Reds starting lineup. Leading off and playing shortstop, number 11, Barry Larkin. Batting second and playing center field, number 22, Billy Hatcher. Hitting third and playing right field, number 21, Paul O'Neill. Hitting fourth and playing left field, number 44, Eric Davis. Batting fifth and playing first base, number 23, Al Morris. Batting sixth and playing third base, number 17, Chris Sabo. Hitting seventh and catching, number 9, Joe Oliver. Batting eighth and playing second base, number 7, Mariano Duncan. And batting ninth and pitching for the Reds in the bullpen, number 27, Jose Rijo. Now the remaining members of the Cincinnati Reds. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we ask you to please rise, face the American flag in center field, and join United States Air Force Captain Alan Boykin in the singing of our national anthem.
Test.
We're dedicating this World Series to our wonderful women and men over in the Far East that are serving us. And they're the greatest, and we're going to stand behind them, and this series is for them. Thank you. I would like a moment of silence or prayer for our people over there. Please bow your heads. Good deal, okay?
What so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red gleam, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner wave over the land of the free and the
Well, kids, we're getting close, and we'll join our World Series play-by-play team of Jack Buck and Tim McCarver when we continue live from Cincinnati after a word from your local station.
25 years old, won one game in 2 starts against Pittsburgh in the National League playoff.
Defensively for the Cincinnati Reds, Eric the Great, they call him. Not quite great because of his injuries now to his left shoulder and right knee. He's in left field. Billy Hatcher in center field tonight. Paul O'Neill, you saw him, or you may have seen him with those 2 fine assists in the National League Championship Series. Chris Sabo led all National League third basemen in fielding this year. He's at third. Barry Larkin, the shortstop. What an athlete. Mariano Duncan at second base, the ex-Dodger. Formerly with the Yankees, Hal Morris, a rookie at first base. Joe Oliver behind the plate, an excellent arm. And as Jack said, Jose Rijo on the mound.
And the batting order to be faced by Rijo. It's Ricky Henderson in left, Willie McGee in center field, Jose Canseco in right field, Mark McGuire at first base, Carney Lansford at third, Terry Steinbach behind the plate, Willie Randolph at second, and Mike Gallego at shortstop, and Dave Stewart on the mound. And the crowd gets revved up for the first pitch. Rickey Henderson, and you know how he is capable of starting the game with a bang. Strike call by Frank Pulley, the plate umpire. We're underway as the flash bulbs popped. And it'll be Henderson, McGee, and Canseco here in the Oakland first. Breaking ball, strike 2. Keep him off base at Tim McCarver. The umpires are Frank Pulley behind the plate, Rocky Rowe, Jim Quick, Ted Hendry, Randy Marsh, and Larry Barnett. 2 quick strikes on Rickey Henderson. Foul right back here. And the count stays 0-2.
Jose Rio obtained by the Cincinnati Reds from the Oakland Athletics back in December of 1987 in the Dave Parker trade.
On 0-2. High fastball, he fouled it back 1-2. Rickey, he gets on base, things happen. They explode.
Yeah, I think it's important that Rio got ahead of Henderson with that small strike zone, crouching, trying to duck under everything.
Blown away. This plate umpire, Frank Pulley, has in the past shown a very liberal strike zone. He'll punch you out. You better be swinging if you're a batter.
Oliver way outside there. That ball missed by about 4 inches. That was an intentional ball from Rio.
And the count 1-2 to the leadoff man. Another foul back here. Hey, he's shooting at us. He shot one to our left, and he sent one straight back here. And the count stays 1-2.
I guess you could say right out of the chute, right?
We don't want any souvenirs, Ricky. Hit it someplace else.
First 6 pitches, and 2 of them just misses.
They're like mortar rounds. One to our left, one to our right. Watch out for this one. You're out. That's the way this one starts. I tell you about Frank Pulley, this plate umpire. If you're in this game, you better go up there swinging. There's one out.
First thing first, and Rickey Henderson thought this pitch was outside. Look where Oliver is sitting, off the plate away, and that was a liberal strike on Rickey Henderson. Usually if you hit your catcher's mitt that many times in a row, whether it's outside or not, you'll get the pitch.
McGee, ball 1. Willie is known to swing at high pitches occasionally, but not that high. Ball 1. This fella is tough to figure with a bat in his hand. He'll look left and hit it right, vice versa. He'll chase him in the dirt, hit him over, swing over his head. He'll miss a pitch down the middle, and then he'll burn you. He hit .335 and won the National League batting title.
Rickey Henderson still complaining. A little activity and animation after the first batter, thinking that ball was outside.
He is disturbed and perturbed. And it's 1-1 to McGee, switch hitter. Late swing, 1-2.
Yeah, it's so unusual. You say Willie McGee, the National League batting champion, batting .335. He was traded with more than 502 plate appearances. And for that reason, he ended up on top of the National League hitters. Very unusual. He had 113 bats for Oakland in September.
Bouncer to short. Larkin waits, flips, and 2 out. There don't seem to be any nerves on display here at this moment.
No, they're really, both teams very impressed with how calm they were during batting practice before the game. This is something that's got to keep you from being calm right there. Here you are hitting balls into the screen with all the media on the field.
And during batting practice, Canseco was pounding the ball.
He was cranking.
He hit one into the upper deck here, and he must have lost about a dozen baseballs. Bad back, bad finger on his right hand. Ball 1 to him, 2 out.
Tell you, he gets as much of a reaction out of the crowd as any player in the game today.
And ball 1 strike, and the Cincinnati fans are cheering on every strike. The first 2 have been retired. Well, if Rio is going to pitch this well, we know Stewart's going to pitch well. So that's the sort of game we have in store. Rio bringing it to you. That was his best fastball thus far. Well out of the strike zone. 2-1.
That's the scouting report on Canseco. You can tease him away with the slider and off-speed stuff, but you hammer hard inside. That's where pitchers try to pitch him, especially right-handed pitchers. Fastballs inside.
Tim and I both think we're going to see some very aggressive pitching on the part of Cincinnati, knocking these hitters off the plate. They're all right-handed hitters except McGee, the switch hitter. Big swing on it, 2-2.
See, that's the fun thing. I mean, even Canseco, he swings through a pitch and everybody cheers. I mean, he gets a reaction, this guy. He does not go to the plate and get cheated, does he?
3-2 on another high fastball and moved him back. Now let's see how Rio, who is from the Dominican Republic, tries to get him out. There's Lou Piniella, his manager, and his Reds in front, wire to wire. Breaking ball, popped it up, foul ball, and Oliver can't get to it. Another day, that ball, now even that would have been out of his reach. There's a temporary box right in front of the fans there. So it stays 3-2 on Canseco. National League president Bill White is on hand here enjoying the action. He's rooting for the Reds. He's sitting on the Cincinnati side. 3-2. Strike. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Rio. Another borderline pitch. He fanned Henderson on a called strike and got Canseco on a called strike. 1/2 inning, no score.
Fastball up there in the mid-90s. In fact, a couple of them 97 miles an hour, and you saw those up and in pitches to Canseco that Timmy was talking about. Let's go back upstairs to Jack and Timmy.
Jose had a good first inning. He set them down in order and fanned 2 along the way. Well, the Oakland pitcher can do the same thing. That's Dave Stewart out there on the mound. He was 2-0 against Boston in the American League Championship Series, and he can bring it also. Here's the starting lineup for Cincinnati. Barry Larkin, Billy Hatcher, Paul O'Neill, Eric Davis, Al Morris, Chris Sabo, Joe Oliver, Mariano Duncan, and Rio. They'll use the DH when we go to Oakland on Friday. First batter is Larkin. And ball 1 to him. Barry had a half dozen hits against the Pittsburgh Pirates. And we salute the Pirates and the Red Sox for their great accomplishments this year. Ball 2 to Larkin. You know, there's nothing worse in baseball, to our mind, than to win your division and then get knocked out and can't play in the series. That's a crusher. And our best to the members of the Pirates and the Red Sox, and a strike to Larkin, 2-1. It'll be Larkin, Hatcher, and O'Neill. From the Goodyear blimp, a look. We had a little dampness around here in this area in recent days. Perfect today. Some of the turf spots still wet. Larkin hits it to deep center field, and Willie McGee is on the move. He can chase him down, and he took care of that one out. Ooh, says the crowd.
Willie McGee, one of those center fielders that can play shallow and prevent the hits in front of him. And he realizes that there's enough hang time to go back and make catches like this. Formerly a Gold Glover, the MVP in the National League back in 1985. He can flat track them down.
Hatcher is up, and Billy takes a strike, and Stewart gets ahead. Hatcher 5 out of 15 with a home run against Pittsburgh. Breaking ball misses. Even before the game, we saw Stewart on the bench kind of hypnotizing himself. He seems like he's on a mountaintop and no one's around. Misses with a breaking ball. Falls behind 2-1.
A guy who was released by the Philadelphia Phillies back in 1986, and on that team was a left-hander by the name of Steve Carlton. And they used to talk about these trances before a game.
Out of the strike zone, 3-1 to Hatcher.
Not meaning to say that they were very close friends, but they were on the same ball club. And Stewart learned a lot from concentration from Steve Carlton. That demonic stare.
Hatcher hit a foul and out of play, and it's 3-2. One thing about this pitcher, Stewart, he does not walk many. He had 166 strikeouts and half as many, 83 walks. He did allow 16 home runs. He missed low.
Before that pitch, you saw Dave Stewart wipe twice on his pants legs. Usually if a pitcher gets a slider from the catcher, instead of shaking him off and going back to the fastball, he'll wipe twice. That means subtract 2 from that 3. That's 1. You get the fastball, and that's what he was doing when he wiped twice on his pants leg.
A baseball player is that smart?
Oh, yeah. Count to 3 or 4? Sure.
1 on, 1 out for Paul O'Neill. One thing about this series, with his Oakland pitching, Stewart, Welch, and Moore, these left-handers such as O'Neill are going to have to do some hitting if Cincinnati is to win. Ball 1. Now remember what Lou Piniella told us. He said he's going to run. He's got one of his best base stealers, Hatcher, on at first, and O'Neill at the plate. He's looking at the signs also.
Open it up full throttle. That's what Lou Piniella says. 7 of the 8 guys can run, and I wouldn't be a bit surprised to see Hatcher take off right here.
And a half swing and a strike, 1-1 to O'Neill.
I talked to Dave Stewart yesterday about the speed of the Cincinnati Reds, and he said that Tony La Russa takes care of all of that. He tells us when to step off, when to throw to first, and when to pitch out.
And La Russa told us he's most concerned with the pitcher getting the ball to the plate in a hurry. So he called a step off.
Right.
Catcher picks up those signs. And now he calls a throw over.
There you see Terry Steinbach getting the sign. It was a throw to first base, and Hatcher has to dive back. So if he was running, he's less apt to now because of the throws to first base.
He hops back in, and it stays 1-1 on the batter, O'Neill. Mark McGwire holding against the runner. Strike call. This plate umpire will keep firing up that right hand. It's Frank Pulley, 1 ball, 2 strikes. And O'Neill is in the hole. Larkin flied out to deep center. Hatcher walked. 1 ball, 2 strikes to O'Neill. Stewart trying all the tricks to try to keep Hatcher close. Struck him out on a bad ball low with that fork ball, and the runner is still at first with 2 out. Well, I'm probably like you are, Tim, wondering why they didn't run.
Yeah, I think that's what stepping off and burying your delivery will do to a guy at first base. Billy Hatcher with great speed, but when you throw over there a couple of times, make him dive back, then you bury the delivery, speed up the delivery, then he is less apt to run. You see Paul O'Neill going after that fork ball, that split finger. Both pitchers had that pitch. Dave Duncan taught Dave Stewart, and Jose De Leon taught it to Rijo. So they learned it from different people, but very effective with that split finger fastball.
You saw that figure for Eric Davis against Pittsburgh. Only 4 hits in 23 at-bats. Runner going. Fly ball to deep, deep center field. McGee back. It's going to go. they just won the World Series. Here's Hal Morris. There's a strike to hit.
Well, they certainly may have taken a step in that direction. Lou Piniella told us before the game that Eric Davis was going to try to hit the ball to right field.
Just make contact.
Yeah, forget the power.
2 quick ones on Morris.
And on the first pitch, Eric Davis trying to go to right field goes to center field a long way.
And the runner was going. What a good hit and run that was. A walk and a home run. Morris takes ball 1. That's the most devastating combination in baseball. A walk and one of these.
Fastball right down the middle of the plate. And he knew it.
Morris quirks the ball foul and stays up there 1-2.
That's the thing about guys like Davis. He's been in a slump, probably realizing Dave Stewart's trying to get ahead. 22nd player to hit a home run in his first World Series at bat. The last guy, Bill Babe, in last year's series, the Giant catcher.
2-2 to Hal Morris. The implacable Tony La Russa. Well, full count on this bat. Stewart not lurking. Walked Hatcher, struck out O'Neill, and lost Eric Davis big time. It's 2-0 Cincinnati, first inning. Strike. I'm telling you, this umpire will keep you swinging. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Stewart. For Cincinnati, 2 runs on 1 hit. After 1, the Reds lead it 2-0.
Watch David. He hits it, and now he looks down for a place to put his bat. He doesn't throw his bat because he knows he's going to trot around the bases and not run around them.
Mark McGwire is up. First pitch of ball from Jose Rijo. Ball 2. Rijo got ahead of the hitters in the first inning and fanned 2 along the way. These Oakland A's have won 10 postseason games in a row. Breaking ball on 2-0. Eric was cheered by the left field fans when he took his position. The Oakland A's in the series against the Giants last year were never behind in any of the 4 games. 3-1. He can afford to challenge him, leading 2-0. And he did, and he got it off the end of the bat, and it carries out to Hatcher. 1 out.
New York Yankees in 1927 and 28 won 2 series in a row, sweeping 2 opponents, and then in 1932 they won 4 more. That was when Babe Ruth called a shot off Charlie Root at Wrigley Field. Oakland, if they win 2 more, they tie those great Yankee teams.
There's a foul going out of play by Carney Lansford. Strike 1 to him. In those 10 games that they've won in a row, Oakland has never trailed by 2 runs.
That's remarkable.
That's how good they are. There's 1 out and a foul off the end of the bat, and that's strike 2. And I'll bet this plate umpire has made a few hitters nervous already. He's punched out 3 uncalled third strikes.
As long as they're consistent, and Frank Pulley is. Paul O'Neill playing a very shallow right field with 2 strikes on Carney Lansford.
And a half swing, and Rio should have time. Save, said the umpire. Boo, say the fans. First base umpire, Rocky Rowe, the American League umpire, and an infield hit for Lansford with 1 out. Well, what do you think before we see the replay? Was he safe or out?
I think that ball may have hit the plate, and it appeared that Lansford had it beaten. Good call by Rocky Rowe. That ball hit the plate. That's why it went so high in the air, and Carney Lansford just beat that throw. Good call.
Yeah, that's the fun of the replay for you folks watching. You call it before we show you the replay. 1 on, 1 out, and a foul off the bat of Terry Steinbach. Being in this part, brings back fond memories for this batter.
In 1988, he was the most valuable player in the All-Star game. The American League won that game, and Terry had a 2-run homer off Doc Gooden in that game, the MVP.
Lansford, 5 hits against the Red Sox in the postseason. And Lansford, who stole 16 bases this year, gets back in time.
Here's that ball off the plate. We said that that's why it had the height that it did, and because it hit the plate and not the dirt, Lansford has a hit, not an out.
Fly ball into short right, and O'Neill is there. They play the right fielder shallow on this Cincinnati club, and that's the second out.
See, Lou Piniella was an outfielder, and outfielders know how to play and convey the information about how to play the outfielders better than anybody else. Lou, a right fielder, and you could see him right there moving the outfielders around.
And who did he tell us made him a fine outfielder?
Bill Verdon, ex-manager of the Yankees back in the middle 70s. He said he was the best instructor that he has ever had, and Bill Verdon was in uniform when the Reds beat the Pirates last Friday.
He was wearing the Pirate uniform. The batter is Willie Randolph, getting a chance to start. Al Morris saved that low throw. With Walt Weiss out, Gallego plays short. Randolph plays second base. Willie was 3 for 8 against Boston. Hits it hard into the corner, and Davis cuts it off and has a chance at third base. He is safe. He didn't get him. He didn't get him. They want to argue, and it's first and third, 2 out. Sabo not too vehement in his argument. Apparently he missed it.
Well, a lot of times when you're worried about catching the ball, you don't know where the runner is. And I think Lansford made an excellent play by going inside the line to avoid the tag. Not too many guys run on these outfielders. The Reds outfielders led in assists, led the majors. And with Sabo, had he caught the ball and made the slap tag immediately, he probably would have gotten Lansford. But look at the dive inside the line to be safe at third. An outstanding base running play by Carney Lansford.
You're right. And it ends up first and third, 2 out, and Sabo apparently missed it.
But I'll tell you one thing, you're not going to run a lot against this Cincinnati outfield. 4 assists during the National League Championship Series.
Here's Gallego at the plate, and a foul out of play, strike 1.
You've heard of change direction in football. You know, when the line goes one way, the quarterback hands it to the back, and he goes off the offside. That's a misdirection by Carney Lansford. Nice base running play by Carney.
And if the A's are to continue the inning, Gallego will have to do something. He was 4 for 10 against the Red Sox. And Reholt pumps a strike in there for strike 2. This batter takes a little ribbing about his size. He is 5'8", but he is a very effective player. And with Weiss out, he'll be playing shortstop throughout. Rio has 2 strikeouts. They pitch out, nothing happening. Carney Lansford had a 1-out single in this inning. He's at third, and a 2-out hard single to left by Randolph. He's at first. And the count 2-2. Looked like the umpire had the urge and then held up 2-2.
I tell you, it was interesting, the pitch out by Joe Oliver, probably relayed by Piniella, but he remembers game 3 of the playoffs when the Athletics pulled that double steal and Terry Steinbach scored by knocking the ball out of the glove of Tony Pena.
2 on, 2 out, 2 balls, 2 strikes, and the third strikeout for Rio. Now runs, 2 hits, 2 left, an inning and a half, 2-0, Cincinnati. Versus Network. Here is Chris Sabo looking at a breaking ball, strike 1 from Dave Stewart. And by the way, between innings, when the commercials are on, you folks in the Persian Gulf will be receiving video postcards from the folks back home. One and one to Sabo. Had a home run against Pittsburgh. Spins away from ball 2. A walk and a home run. And the Reds lead 2-0 in the second. Count goes to 3-1. Goodyear Blimp has this view to send you of Riverfront Stadium right on the Ohio River. Missed the outside part and a leadoff walk, and the second pass by Stewart. Let's listen to Joe Oliver, the Cincinnati catcher, talking about Oakland.
Well, they got a great confidence. I guess you could almost call it an arrogance. To me, that's tough to compete with. They feel like they can do it at any time, any given situation. And when you get a team that knows that they can beat anybody at any time, it gets you motivated.
Runner going, and a hit-and-run foul ball out of play. So Lou Piniella, true to his word, he started the runner Sabo, who did steal 25 bases during the season.
I'll tell you, you see this Oakland ball club, and it's easy to think that they're arrogant and cocky. I mean, all of them are big. They look like football players, and they backed up everything. They're world champions. They beat Boston 4 in a row in 1988, and then because of a red-hot pitcher, Oral Hershiser, ran into a buzzsaw in the World Series that year. I tell you, they're good. They know it, and they can back it up.
And they're proud of what they've done.
Absolutely.
Oliver pumps it up, and that will be the first out of the inning. Foul ball, Steinbach.
Yeah, that's a good point. They're proud. What's perceived as arrogance by your opponent could be just a way of carrying your pride. And these guys carry their pride very well. They're very well prepared. They're disciplined. They're well trained. And that man right there, I don't think anybody is more prepared going into a baseball game and a series than Tony La Russa.
1 on, 1 out for Mariano Duncan. That leads us to point out that Bill Doran has had to miss this World Series because of a back operation, and Duncan will play full-time second base. Maybe we'll see Ron Oster. And ball 1 from Stewart, who pounds his fist into the glove. He's not quite doing what he wishes to do thus far. Duncan had a half-dozen hits and a home run against Pittsburgh. Runner leaning. Not going. A pitch out. Ball 2.
You'd think somebody who's as prepared as La Russa wouldn't take chances, but here's a 1-ball and no-strike pitch out when you're down by 2 runs. So he can fly by the seat of his pants, too. Got a great feel for what's going on the field.
Steinbach has had a look into the dugout. And the runner Sabo gets back. This first baseman, McGuire, by the way, deemed to be best defensive first baseman in the American League. First down, Mattingly has been in and out of the Yankee lineup. He's terrific also. Runner goes. Sabo doesn't argue. A terrific throw by Steinbach, and a quick tag, which made the difference.
Yeah, that's the key, and that's what a catcher can do. If he releases it quickly, then he can allow the infielder and his quick hands to take care of the rest. Look how quickly Terry Steinbach gets rid of this ball. It's a high throw, but watch the slap tag by Gallego. Quick and sure.
Now the count goes to 3-1 to Duncan.
You're not really concerned with where it is. If it's on the bag, let the infielder have the chance to make the quick tag, and Gallego did.
Duncan fouls it to make it 3-2. The one thing that does, losing Sabo on the bases, if they get Duncan here, that has the pitcher leading off in the next inning. Cincinnati has only 1 hit. That was a 2-run homer by Eric Davis. Ball 4, the third walk by Stewart, and that allows the pitcher to bat in this inning. Perez talking with the runner. He's the first base coach. And there's Dave Duncan, the pitching coach of the Oakland A's. His pitcher has walked 3.
David, former catcher in the Oakland Athletics farm system, played with the Indians.
Ball 1 to the pitcher, Rijo, who is 0 for 5 against the Pirates in the playoff and had 10 hits during the regular season. Hits it hard to short. Gallego force out. The inning's over. And that's the first man Cincinnati has left. We played 2. The Reds lead it 2-0. In Texas. This is the 30th year that the Goodyear Blimp has covered the World Series. And hi to you folks up there. I was talking with one of the Oakland A's about Dave Stewart's hitting. He said, no chance. Ball 1, unless he walks.
Tony La Russa said Mike Moore is the best of the hitting pitchers. Dave Stewart told Jim Cott recently on an interview that there was not a tree big enough to make a bat that could get him to put the bat on the ball.
There's a strike from Rijo, 1-1.
But you know, here's a guy who signed with the Dodgers as a catcher back in 1975. But I guess that's why he became a pitcher, because he couldn't hit.
Chased him out to the mound. At least he's swinging 1-2. When you talk to Dave about his hitting, he'll smile. He doesn't smile on game night, though. Rijo gets his 4th strikeout. Now, what's Pat O'Brien thinking about at this moment? Pat?
You know, Jack, it's a school night here in Cincinnati, and as it is elsewhere across the country. But when Mom and Dad have World Series tickets, you get to stay up late. And they probably don't even know this word, but tomorrow they'll be the envy of the class. They were at the World Series. Maybe take home a souvenir. We almost did. Back to you.
And that lady's tired, too. She's yawning. So everybody in Cincinnati is focused on this World Series. Here is Henderson, called out on strikes, much to his dislike to start the game. He'll probably be swinging early enough to give the umpire another crack at him. Ball 1.
Hey, Ricky's got that real small strike zone. He gets a lot of pitches from the umpires because he does have that small strike zone. See what a pitcher has to pitch to? Out of that crouch. Here it is right here. Supposed to be from the letters to the knees by the time he gets in that crouch. Boy, he squeegees that thing up a lot.
There's a half swing and a foul, putting Ricky in the hole 1-2. Yeah, he makes you come to him, doesn't he?
Like pitching to an accordion.
And there's an A's fan.
See if Oliver goes back outside again. Slider away.
Too far away. 2-2. This is a right-handed hitting Oakland lineup. And only Willie McGee, a switch hitter, batting from the left side tonight. 2-2. A little bit up. 3-2.
The Athletics batted .277 against left-handed pitching, .246 against right-handers. The Cincinnati Reds have a similar disadvantage against right-handed pitching.
And another foul right over our head here, keeping the count 3-2.
Might have to bring the equipment up here tomorrow, I'll tell you. Shin guards.
That's the third one they've shot at us up
Yeah.
here. What's coming on 3-2?
Fastball away.
Fly ball into left, and Eric Davis dives, and he dropped the ball. Henderson goes for second handily with 1 out. He had it, but the turf made him cough it up.
And I think that left shoulder of his may have had something to do with that. A healthy Eric Davis makes this play. You can see him grimacing in pain. Well, that left shoulder all taped up. He hurt it a couple of weeks ago when he ran into the wall, and I don't know if he ever had that ball cleanly, but he really hurts that shoulder when he dives on the turf, landing right on that shoulder. See, it hit the heel of the glove. It comes out. He never really had possession, but more importantly for the Reds, he could have re-injured that shoulder.
That's the third hit for Oakland. And Henderson, the runner at second, is terrific at stealing third. The batter is Willie McGee. And he hits it to second for Duncan. The runner to third, 2 out. Now Rijo can concentrate on the hitter. Let's see if he works in the stretch or the lineup or the windup with Henderson at third base and 2 out. Rene Leitzman, the coach at third.
I don't think Ricky's going anywhere, not with Jose Canseco at bat, so if you're a pitcher here, just go ahead and wind up. If you want to go to the stretch, that's fine, but do what feels most comfortable. Don't let the runner at third dictate how you're going to pitch to Canseco.
I talked to Jose. I said, how do you pronounce your name? He said, Canseco, like kick the can. It's Canseco.
Like can do it.
Can do it. Tying run at the plate. Third inning, 2-0 Cincinnati. Ball one, and Rijo is working from the stretch. He doesn't want to worry about Henderson. Lou Piniella will watch this Rijo-Canseco battle, and Mark McGwire is on deck. 2 out. Ball 2. Well, would he prefer to pitch to McGwire with 2 on, 2 out, or is he going to challenge Canseco here? Again. 3-0, and he is swinging. You can bet on that, right, Tim?
Oh, I would think so. Yes, sir.
Jose has hit only 3 home runs in the last 49 games since the 3rd of August. He was swinging on 3-0 and chased a bad ball.
He was swinging at anything then. That was a slider away out of the strike zone. Canseco says, no walk for me.
That's a big boy. You're not going to walk me. 3-1. He did walk him, and that's the first given by Rijo. Tying runs are on base. At first and third, and Piniella wants to talk.
I think he wants to talk to Joe Oliver as much as he does Jose Rijo. If the runner at first runs, what does Oliver do? Do you throw through with Ricky Henderson at third base? And if you don't throw through, you take the chance of the tying run potentially to get to second base.
You think they'll just let him go down there to second base?
I think they'll wait and let McGwire hit first. I don't think they'll run until the count's 0-2 or 1-2 when the count's unfavorable for McGwire to hit. If it's 1-0, 2-0, 3-1, something like that, I think he'll be given every opportunity to try to put the Athletics on top here.
McGwire fly to center his first time, and a foul on a breaking ball.
If he gets another quick strike, you can look for Canseco to be running 0-2, 1-2.
One for Larkin. The inning's over. That's 4 left for Oakland early. We'll return to Riverfront Stadium after this word from your local station.
Nice view of downtown Cincinnati. I'm down below home plate here in our low home position, and part of the concern for the Cincinnati fans in that particular inning was when Eric Davis dove to try to catch that ball out in left field. Larry Starr right there working really on the finger more than the shoulder. Right there, you see the ball hit the heel of the glove, as Timmy pointed out, and he landed on the shoulder, but I think he also jammed that pinky finger a little bit. Nothing serious. Back up to Jack and Tim.
And to Barry Larkin. Ball 1 from Dave Stewart, who has walked 3 in the first 2 innings. Allowed only the 1 hit. A home run by Davis. Ball 2. Larkin from a wonderfully athletic family. And he attended the University of Michigan.
As did Hal Morris and Chris Sabo.
He missed ball 3. This is not the Dave Stewart that we know. Look where those kids are. And the first base foul line. A couple of A's fans.
3 would-be catchers. They've got their caps turned around. Huh?
Look at this from Dave Stewart, his 4th walk, and he puts a good base stealer on. And 4 straight bad pitches. He is not himself. You know, one of the things could be the pitching mound.
Maybe.
I'm sure it's not the pressure of the situation bothering him, but sometimes even the best don't perform at their best.
It could be the fact that this is his 6th day, too. The Athletics clinching last week against Boston. They had to wait for the series to start, of course, so this is his 6th day. He may be stronger, but his control has been off.
You're right about that. And the runner not going, and a bunt foul by Hatcher. I was talking with Stewart yesterday. Dave, how you feeling? And he said, I feel terrific. I never had a pitcher say that to me at this time of year. He said, but that extra time off, he said, I feel like a new man. And you might be right, Tim. Maybe too much time off.
He has won everything but the Cy Young Award, the MVP and the American League Championship Series.
Well, they tried the bunt. Will they switch to the hit and run? Nope. Ball high, 1-1. Formerly with the Mets, Sam Perlazzo giving the signs. Leadoff walk to Barry Larkin. Men on base in each half inning for Cincinnati.
Sometimes Lou Piniella, you saw Larkin look at Perez. Sometimes Lou Piniella will give the running signs to Tony Perez. Instead of the third base coach will be the decoy, and he'll give the running signs to Tony at first base. Whenever you see Larkin look at the first base coach, one time it'd be 1 wink. A wink would be the steal. 2 winks would be the hit and run.
Steinbach trying to learn all he can learn. Runner not going. Low and away. 2-1. In the playoff against Boston, this pitcher, Dave Stewart, in 16 innings, walked only 2. He averages less than 3 walks per 9 innings during the regular season. Perfect hit and run count.
Indeed.
Runner not going. And that ball is fair. And the run will score. 3-0, Cincinnati. The runner goes to third. He's safe there. Nobody out.
One of the problems of falling behind is you have to come into the hitter, and this ball laced down the left field line. Watch that carom, how that ball just caroms from the left field corner in toward left center, and with nobody out, you've got to be sure, if you're the third base coach, Sam Palazzo was sure, a double, an RBI, and a throwing error on Mike Gallego.
Runner at third and nobody out. That was the call. Error 6 allowed Hatcher to go to third. And ball 1 to Paul O'Neill, a strikeout victim his first time. Infield back at second and short. There's a strike.
I'll tell you, when a relay man like Gallego has to get rid of the ball quickly, a lot of times when he grabs the ball, that ring finger becomes involved. You see the throw by Gallego, he knows it has to be quick. And for that reason, I think that third finger was involved.
The runner is going to score. The out at first. It's 4-0. Good base running by Billy Hatcher.
Outstanding. That's a base running play that's designed to keep running when the pitcher keeps running. If the pitcher stops, you stop. With his back to you, if he keeps running, there's no way that he's going to recover fast enough to throw you out at home. Outstanding base running by Billy Hatcher.
Do you know that the Reds have scored 4 runs with only 2 hits? And Davis is up with the bases empty.
Yeah, those 2 walks scored, too. They usually do.
Breaking ball strike to Davis, who homered in the first with 2 out and a runner on. 1 strike. Billy Hatcher got the key double and then did some good base running. Had an RBI and scored a run. There's 1 out in this inning, and a breaking ball is hit into right field, and Canseco's there. 2 out. Cincinnati bench is alive. First game of the World Series here at Riverfront Stadium in Cincinnati, right on the banks of the Ohio River. Eric Davis homered in the first with a man on. The Reds have scored 2 more here in the third to lead 4-0. Al Morris with a good swing with a foul, strike 1. Dave Stewart is not used to this sort of transpiring. He doesn't like it, you can tell.
6 postseason wins in a row.
Morris hits it to McGuire. To the pitcher, and the inning is over. 2 runs, 1 hit, 1 error. After 3, 4-0 Cincinnati.
The 1990 World Series is brought to you by Oldsmobile. Stop by your Oldsmobile dealer and see what's new from the new generation of Olds. Federal Express for documents, packages, and freight. The best way to ship it over there. And by AT&T, the right choice.
Here's that line drive foul ball that I caught.
You charged it, right? Here's what we were talking about. When a ring finger becomes involved in a fielder when he's throwing the ball, what happens is the ball has a tendency to slip out of his hand, and we think that's what happened to Gallego. Fielders are taught to hold the ball with the seams and throw like that. Ring fingers are for exactly that, rings.
Lansford hit the first pitch to Sabo, and he's out at first in the 4th inning. 1 pitch, 1 out.
Sometimes you can just tell, as you see Mike Gallego right there, how the ball reacts out of his hand. You see the throw going toward the athletic dugout, and I've got to believe that the ring finger, the 3rd finger, was involved, and that's why the throw wasn't on line, and that throw moving Hatcher to 3rd base responsible for the 4th Cincinnati run.
That's what it cost him. The batter is Steinbach. And the Oakland catcher takes ball 1. He flied to right his first time. Perry rang up 5 hits against the Red Sox in postseason. Hits it foul out of play, 1-1. And his Cincinnati pitcher, Jose Rio, is getting along very, very well. The A's about hit Cincinnati 3-2. With the Reds lead 4-0. Oakland is going to get Todd Burns ready. Fly ball, foul out of play, 2-2, because their pitcher is due to bat 5th in this inning. So Tony La Russa has to deal with pinch hitters and so forth, and no DH tonight. Swinging a bad ball, evens the count 2-2.
You saw Lou Piniella there. He is always aware of the depth of the opposite fielder. And with 2 strikes on the hitter, a hitter becomes more of a defensive hitter, not an offensive hitter. So that means he's not going to be able to hit the ball, generally speaking, that far the other way.
Breaking ball got Steinbeck. That's the 5th strikeout by the Oakland A's, and he has Terry talking to himself.
Yeah, see, you would never see a swing like this from a hitter with the count 2-0 and 1-0. That was a defensive swing. Terry was just trying to make contact, and that again is why you move that opposite fielder in.
Oakland is stranded 4. The first 2 have been retired here. Willie Randolph is up. And a strike to him and a quick look back at the umpire. There's Dave Stewart wondering how long he's going to stay in this game. The A's get a rally going. They'll lift him right here in this inning, but there are 2 up. Broken bat. Oh, look at that. Behind the knee. Hey, that's pretty cute, isn't it? Now see that again. That's all for Oakland in the top of the 4th inning. Cincinnati will come to bat with Sabo to lead it off. Watch this cutie pie play here.
Rio Rojo Caliente.
Looking at what has transpired, Eric Davis hit a 2-out, 2-run home run in the 1st inning for a 2-0 lead, and then in the 3rd, a walk, a double, an error, and an infield out. As Cincinnati on top here, 4-0 in the bottom of the 4th. Dave Stewart has walked 4, allowed 2 hits and pitches to Chris Sabo and a foul back here. That's about 4 of them that have come whistling back up here. There's Eric Davis having a little problem with that right hand after diving into the turf. And Stewart blew that one right by Sabo. When you watch Stewart pitch, Tim, you see a lot of batters swing right through it. You wonder how in the world they didn't hit the ball.
Well, he challenges you. I don't think there's any pitcher in either league that pitches right-handers inside as much as Stewart.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Leadoff man has been on base in 2 out of 3 innings for Cincinnati. But not this inning as Sabo goes down on strikes. The big blow in this game. After a walk to Hatcher in the 1st, this 2-out swing by this man, Eric Davis. Tim McCarver said you could tell when he looked down he knew it was gone. The batter is Oliver. Breaking ball. Ball 1 to Joe. He fouled out his 1st time. Well, Eric, you're out of your slump. Pop this one up for the 2nd out. Who's going to get it? 3rd baseman Lansford. And there are 2 out. And the pitcher, Dave Stewart, will now try for his first 1-2-3 inning of the game.
We talked about his 6 consecutive victories. If he were to come back, if his team were to come back tonight and win this game, he would tie Bob Gibson. Bob Gibson had 7 consecutive victories in the 64, 67, and 68 World Series. Lefty Gomez, you see, was 6. Red Ruffing was 6. Pretty good company.
And a strike on the inside part to Duncan. He walked his 1st time. That really hurt Stewart because it allowed the pitcher to bat in that inning. And that's through the hole with 2 out, and the pitcher will bat in this inning.
Tell you, the Reds were so productive in their number 2 and their number 8 holes this year. From the 8th hitting spot, they had 16 home runs and 84 RBIs. And their number 2 hitter batted .307. That is unusual production out of a lineup from the number 2 and 8 hole, but it shows you how balanced the Cincinnati lineup is.
And pretty well balanced left side, right side. Here is Rijo. Hit into a force out his 1st time. He'll swing. He might even bunt, but they're aware of that because Lansford is looking right down his throat. Ball 1 to Jose. Jose is looking at the 3rd base coach and saying, "What are you looking at me for?" Runner at first, 2 out. 1-1.
Yeah, sometimes it's just not. I think hitters look down at the third base coach out of habit. Here it is, 1-1. There's no sense in looking down there. You're hitting. 2 outs.
1-1, and Stewart steps off. Ron Schuler is one who has done some scouting for this Oakland team. And a bounce at a third, and that's where Lansford was playing in, guarding against the bunt, and the inning is over. Now the Reds have left 2, but after 4, they lead 4-0. This game we go. The hits even, 3 apiece. The Reds leading 4-0. And this overhead view of Riverfront and the crowd, standing room only. There's Norm Charlton. He's likely first out of the bullpen tonight for the Reds, and all Cincinnati wants from Jose Rijo is a couple of more innings. Gallego, the number 8 hitter, leads it off, and his first time. All 1. And Rijo back with a strike. Gallego, the number 8 hitter in the lineup. And Rijo throws low. And we have Doug Jennings waiting on deck, and he will bat for Dave Stewart. And then we're going to have this new pitcher, and that is Todd Burns. Out of play, 2-2. So Stewart will be through after pitching 4 innings. Gave 4 runs, 3 hits. He walked 4. I'm sure that bothers him more than anything. And he had 3 strikeouts.
Yeah, and 2 of those walks scored. 1 in front of the Eric Davis homer and 1 in front of the double by Hatcher.
Fly ball for O'Neill. And 1 out. The Oakland club has yet to put their leadoff man on base. O'Neill's start in the playoff against Pittsburgh, some thought he'd be the MVP, but he wasn't.
I tell you, that is one of the keys in baseball. First strike, first out. When the first batter gets on base, he scores 51% of the time. When he gets on base with 1 out, it's cut to 16% of the time. That's a 35% difference. Major difference in allowing that first runner on and then having him on with 1 out.
And Rijo has retired the leadoff hitter in all 5 innings. Doug Jennings is at the plate. And ball went inside. This Ohio River is busy beyond the stadium. The river boats flying up and down. There's some restaurants that are moored there. There's a strike according to plate umpire Frank Foley, 1-1. That's all they want from this guy is this inning and the 6th. They'll take more, but they want 6 innings from Rijo. That's the way the Reds play it.
Jennings selected by the Athletics in the 1987 Rule 5 draft. That's the minor league draft at the winter meetings. Batted 192 and 156 at bats this year with a couple of home runs.
Two. Crowd wanted that call but didn't get it. We're in the 5th, 4-0 Cincinnati. Jennings gets a base hit and a right. That's the 4th hit for the visiting Oakland club. Well, the pinch hitter came through.
Doug Jennings 5 for 14 now in postseason play. He was 4 for 13. Had the 2 homers in the American League Championship Series. a double, 3 RBIs.
And Ricky Henderson will come up with Jennings out at first, being held by Hal Morris.
I said the American League Championship Series. Actually, that was against the Red Sox during the season. I beg your pardon.
He came through at the right time for Oakland, and Ricky took ball one. Blistering fastball from Rijo. Well, depending on what Henderson does, Willie McGee may turn out to be a key man in this frame. Batter calls time. Ricky had 28 home runs during the season. One on, one out. Maybe a double play ball, but Henderson can run, and he is safe at first. There was little chance to get him in the first place, and Ricky is on a fielder's choice. 2 out in the inning.
You know, the one thing about Ricky Henderson, he is an outstanding base runner, but from home to first, his big swing inhibits him from going full speed to first base. He goes as fast as he can, but it takes him time to get kind of uncoiled to get going back toward first base. That long swing, that's why he has so much power, 28 home runs this year. But he doesn't run from home to first nearly as fast as from first to second or second to third.
Well, we know he can run, and McGee hits a foul. Strike one. Willie is grounded to short, grounded to second.
936 career stolen bases, 2 behind Lou Brock to break the all-time record.
Why didn't he do it this year?
I thought he'd let things settle over the winter. I mean, here's a guy 31 years old. He could end up with 1,500 stolen bases. Conceivably.
He's not taking a very big lead at all. Well, Cincinnati has chased Dave Stewart. In the last 10 postseason games, Stewart had pitched at least 6 innings in each of those. So they got to him early, and they got him out of here. Lou Piniella is like most managers. You get a fellow like Henderson at first, there's not a heck of a lot you can do about it. Just forget about it. Work on the batter, particularly here with 2 out.
Yeah, with a 4-run lead. And I think that's what Joe Oliver and Barry Larkin, even though Larkin is not the captain of this club, he's the unofficial captain of this club. And that's what they're talking about right now. Saying, look, Jose, you've got a 4-run lead. Just get hitter.
At the conclusion of this game, Tim McCarver and I will select the Chevrolet Most Valuable Player of the game. Chevrolet will then donate $1,000 in the player's behalf to the Special Olympics. Well, that's what they probably told Jose. Get the better. There goes Henderson. And a base hit by McGee. Ricky goes on to third. And Canseco's coming up with 2 on, 2 out. And we have a moment here. Well, that's what happened when they started the runner. Larkin left. I don't think he could have commanded that ball by McGee anyhow.
Well, you know, I'm not too sure. I mean, he left his position. You've got a 4-run lead. Now, I know your instincts tell you to try to, there you can see Larkin going toward the bag. Your instincts tell you to try to go to the bag to get the runner. But Henderson was such a tremendous jump that by vacating the position, you certainly have no chance.
Well, here we go with Rijo against Canseco. First and third, 2 out. Enjoy this scene. And a big swing and a throw and a save by the first baseman, Hal Morris. Trying to get McGee. Canseco has struck out and walked. You saw Morris dig it out of the dirt. Outside, 1-1. Top of the 5th. First and third, 2 out. 4-0 Cincinnati, and 1-1 on Canseco. Ball 2. They kind of pitched around to Canseco in the 3rd inning and got McGuire. The runner at third base is Ricky Henderson. And Willie McGee, a real flyer also, is at first. All of the outfielders very deep with this batter up there. Very, very deep are Davis, Hatcher, and O'Neill. Trying to cut down on the extra base hit if Canseco connects.
Play the big guys deep and the little guys shallow. And this guy's a big guy.
Well, they wanted 2 more innings out of Rijo, but they are warming up Scott Scudder in the Cincinnati bullpen. 2 on, 2 out. Strike, 2-2.
Four-run lead and a 2-1 slider that freezes Canseco.
Runner going. Ball 3 and no throw, a stolen base for McGee. Now it's 3-2 to Canseco. And a base hit would mean a couple. A home run would make it a 1-run game. They have a base open. McGuire next. And Piniella chomps on the chewing gum. Outside, he walked him. That is the second walk by Rijo, both given to Canseco. And the bases are loaded 2 out, and the tying run comes to the plate. And the batter will be Mark McGuire. He could tie it up in a blink.
And don't forget the Athletics with Ricky Henderson running. Larkin vacating the whole base hit to left, the stolen base, and now the walk.
Now ball 1 to this batter.
So even when the Athletics were behind by 4 runs, they kept the running game intact. That's something that would never have been in effect 20 years ago. But Tony La Russa realizes, and it's almost an innovation of modern-day baseball, as you see Stan Williams, the pitching coach, going to the mound to talk to Rijo, that you play the same game when you're behind. And I think baseball has really changed for the better. That guys who can run continue to run regardless of the score. If those are their weapons, continue to use those weapons. And here, the Cincinnati Reds are in trouble because of the Athletics continuing to use the speed as one of their weapons. And that man right there opened things up, and one of the key reasons the bases are loaded now.
And they are with 2 out. And a ball 1 count to Mark McGuire. Rijo working from the stretch. Strike to the batter, 1-1. Big moment here in the first game of the series. 2 balls and a strike. Ricky Henderson at third. Willie McGee on at first. 3 fast runners, including Canseco at first. Popped him up. Second baseman wants it. And now Oakland has left 7. And after 4.5, they still trail 4-0. Front Stadium, and the hometown crowd is enjoying this a good deal more than the Oakland fans. The Reds lead 4-0, though they've been out hit 5-3. And not only that, Cincinnati has chased Dave Stewart from the game, and Todd Burns takes over. 3-3 with 3 saves during the season. Tim McCarver and Jack Buck with you. We'll be here tomorrow night. Day off for travel on Thursday, and Oakland Coliseum come Friday night. This is the first postseason appearance this year for Todd Burns. And he'll face the top of the order, Barry Larkin. In the dirt. Larkin is flied out, walked, and scored. This gentleman says, watching TV. How are you, sir? Nice to chat with you.
He's looking at himself on television. Look at that.
Give us
some reaction, huh?
Give him a microphone. We can talk. Here's one of pop fly for the second baseman, Willie Randolph. 1 out.
I'll tell you, 2 years ago, a limping wonder walked to home plate at Dodger Stadium. Everybody remembers.
From Eckersley, Gibson swings and a fly ball to deep right field. This is going to be a home run. Unbelievable! A home run for Gibson. And the Dodgers have won the game 5-4. I don't believe what I just saw. And it's Billy Hatcher, ball 1.
And I still don't believe what we just saw after that great call of yours 2 years ago.
I was so shocked. I was thinking about Gibson. Here's another hit for Hatcher. He doubled previously. This is his 3rd time on base, and it's another double. This one with 1 out. Billy Hatcher starring tonight.
This looks like a replay of Hatcher's last hit. Almost in the identical spot. Look at Carney Lansford playing in. And Hatcher with an easy double. He had 28 during the year. And Lou Piniella thinks that third base is the easiest base to steal. So what Todd Burns has to do is keep an eye on Hatcher.
With 1 out. And O'Neill at the plate. O'Neill 0 for 2 with an RBI. And Todd Burns and his catcher are going to talk it over. Tim, going back to that Gibson home run. Tying run at second, 2 out, bad knee and all. I thought, and against Eckersley, he just hit it up the middle or go the other way, and the home run was the furthest thing from my mind in '88.
His only at bat in the series. The Dodgers went on to win in 5. Unbelievable.
That's what the Reds are trying to do here, shock Oakland tonight. Pitch goes low.
Tonight it was Eric. Excuse me, Jack. Tonight it was Eric Davis who shocked the Athletics early.
Strike call. Looked like Hatcher to me was trying to measure a running start from second base.
Yeah, we talked about Cincinnati stealing third. They attempted to steal third more than any other team in the major leagues, 46 times this year.
2 balls and a strike to Paul O'Neill.
Give you some idea of how many times that is. The Oakland Athletics only tried to steal third 34 times, and that's with Ricky Henderson stealing 65 bases.
Shortstop Gallego trying to keep Hatcher close. Outside to the batter, 3-1 with 1 out. That's Hatcher. He has walked, scored, double, driven in a run and scored, and doubled again. What a night he's having. Ball 4 to O'Neill, and that is the 5th walk given to the Reds to go with their 4 hits. Who's up? Who's up with 2 on, 1 out? Eric Davis. He could make a shambles of this game as far as Oakland's concerned. And La Russa knows that. Davis has homered and flied to right. Oakland wants the double play to bail out of this 5th inning. Now the second baseman has to keep the runner close. The shortstop cannot do so. That's ball 1. With Davis up there, the infield plays him to pull. The outfield straight away. The shortstop can't keep Hatcher close. Into left field. They bring Hatcher home. And he is safe, and it's 5-0. Davis has driven in 3 of the 5. O'Neill stopped at second.
Todd Burns trying to come in on Davis with that sinking fastball. But again, when you fall behind in the count and you have to come into the strike zone to major league hitters, you are asking for trouble. The throw by Henderson not nearly strong enough, and Hatcher scores easily.
And early visit to the mound by La Russa.
See Hatcher take off immediately. He didn't have to wait. The ball was hit high enough to where there was no danger of Gallego making the play, and Hatcher taking off immediately and scores easily. Third RBI for Eric Davis.
About these Reds, 5 runs on 5 hits with the help of 5 walks plus an error.
Little help from my friends.
And Gene Nelson cranks it up. Now this is what happens when you get rid of a starter like Stewart. Davis, Ian Hatcher have been burning things up tonight.
Even though I'll tell you that Oakland Athletic middle relief corps really underrated and unheralded. They are outstanding.
Al Morris, strike to him. Russo went out and told Burns what he wanted. There's Billy Hatcher, a walk, 2 doubles, 3 runs scored, and an RBI. 1 strike. First and second, 1 out. This batter really strides into the ball. You see his right foot. It ends up very close to the plate when he swings. Breaking ball, and he fouled. 1-2. And Morris sprays the ball around the park.
Morris almost has the ability to hit with his feet mobile. He really steps into the ball literally. He moves his back foot and his front foot. There's not just the one stride into the ball. Look at the unusual way that how Morris moves his feet when he approaches the hitting position.
Inside to even at 2-2. Doing a little tap dance in the batter's box. I bet Todd Burns didn't expect to be in this game in the 5th inning with Dave Stewart starting. 2 on, 1 out. It's 3-2. And leading 5-0, they'll probably start the runner.
Absolutely.
At second, Davis at first. They're on the move, and it avoids the double play, and it's second and third, 2 out. It would have been a double play had the runners not been going, 2 out.
You take more chances when you're ahead. This ball is scorched to second base. Runners running. You can see O'Neill and Davis. And the only play Willie Randolph has is to first base to easily get Marsh. But no question, that's a double play had they not been running.
They're going to pitch to Sabo, but he'll probably have to fish for something to hit. With first base open, ball 1, and Joe Oliver, another right-handed batter, but a lesser hitter coming up next. Sabo has walked and fanned. Up the middle. McGee can throw. But not this time. 2 more runs. It's 7-0.
Watch how Sabo goes down and gets the slider. That's how Pittsburgh got him out. Piniella has helped him.
There's a base hit by Oliver. There goes the runner to third. He is safe at third with 2 outs.
Going to say Lou Piniella has helped Chris Sabo stay back on the ball. Joe Oliver going to right field. I think you could clearly see that something was wrong with Jose Canseco's throwing hand when he threw that ball to third base. Jose, normally with an outstanding arm, he almost pushed that ball to third base. Watch this throw by Canseco. Normally a much stronger arm and a much closer play. Not even close.
Here comes Tony La Russa. And here comes a new man from the bullpen. It's Gene Nelson. The Reds have made 7 runs on 7 hits and lead 7-0. Has done in postseason, ending in 2/3 during the regular season, 3-3 with 5 saves. First and third, 2 out, 3 runs home in the 5th. Reds leading 7-0. And the batter is Mariano Duncan, ball 1. Over at third base, it is Chris Sabo. And at first base, Joe Oliver. At the plate, Duncan. He has walked and singled. I was surprised earlier they let Sabo hit the ball with first base open, even though Oliver did come through with a base hit.
Well, I mean, you know, that when you're trailing by 5 runs, there's not a lot you can do. Oliver did get the hit, but what they wanted Sabo to do was to hit a tough pitch, and he hit a tough pitch. I mean, he really went down and got that ball. Sometimes you just got to tip your hat to the hitter.
7 runs, 7 hits, fly ball to deep left by Duncan. Henderson back at the track, and that ends the inning. It is 3 more runs for Cincinnati. On 3 hits, they lead 2. They've left 4. Will return to Riverfront Stadium after this word from your local station.
7-0 Cincinnati. We go to the top of the 6th inning. Jose Canseco bothered by that tendonitis on the middle finger. And the one thing it'll affect is the way you throw the ball. You've got to touch and feel whether you're a pitcher or an outfielder. And even though the finger is the best that it's been, watch the tentative throw that Timmy referred to. Just not the strong, accurate throw we're used to seeing from Canseco. No feel in that middle finger. Back to Jack and Tim.
Ernie Lansford starts it with a base hit here in the 6th inning. His 2nd hit of the night. And don't count this Oakland club out. They won 103 games this year. And they know how to handle adversity as well as victories. There's the bench, and tomorrow night at 8 o'clock Eastern Time here on CBS, Game 2 of the World Series. And the starters, Bob Welch, the 27-game winner for Oakland, against Danny Jackson, 6-6 for the Reds. Tomorrow night on CBS, the runner going. What do you think of this? A stolen base for Lansford. I guess Carney knows the score is 7-0.
Well, no surprise when Ricky Henderson takes off with the score 4-0. But a big surprise when Carney Lansford takes off with the score 7-0. First pitch, hook slide. It looked like he slid into the glove of Barry Larkin. Watch this. Watch his left foot. Nope, he got it out of the way.
He sure did.
Good
and
call.
He's safely at second, nobody out, and a foul ball by Steinbach, and they're going up there swinging.
Tell you, that hook slide, though, you just don't get to the base as quickly as a straight-in slide. That's really a slide that is not in vogue nearly as much now as it was 25 years ago.
0 for 2 is Steinbach. And the count 1-1 on him. Now this gentleman harkens back to 61.
Yankees beat the Reds in the World Series in 5 games.
Here should be the first out of the inning. Duncan throws to get the Oakland catcher. 1 out. And the runner to third. Steinbach is 0 for 3. Willie Randolph is 1 for 2. Seven to nothing Cincinnati, 6th inning. A chopper foul. Of course, with the lead such as it is, the Reds are playing deep and willing to give up a run for an out. Single by Lansford leading off in the 6th. Stolen base. Move to third on the infield out, and watches strike 2 going to Randolph.
You know, I look around the stadium, and I don't think I've ever seen as many banners at Riverfront Stadium as I'm seeing here tonight. This is not necessarily a banner stadium. Banner town, they're having a banner year, granted, but you don't see a lot of banners here in this ballpark. And you certainly don't see that guy at this time of year, do you?
We've been here for a long time, haven't we?
This guy took a left when he should have taken a right.
1-2 to Randolph. Just missed 2-2. Rijo would like to get through this 6th, and that's when the Reds frequently go to their bullpen in the 7th inning. Charlton, Dibble, and Myers. And another foul keeps it 2-2. Willie Randolph, we'll see a lot of him in this series at second base. With Walt Weiss missing at the shortstop position for Oakland. Gallego playing there. Willie trying to get the run home. And a pop fly into short right for O'Neill. The runner tags but doesn't come. 2 out.
Yeah, you just can't take chances like that when you're trailing by 7 runs, especially with Paul O'Neill in right field. We mentioned earlier 47 assists for the Cincinnati outfielders, the most in the major leagues this year, and they added 4 more in the championship series. And there it is right there. You don't run on these guys. Also the fewest errors, only 10. So they know how to play the outfield.
Runner at third, 2 out. Fly ball for O'Neill to chase, and he has it, and Oakland still hasn't scored. Now the A's have stranded 8 while being shut out. Bottom of the 6th, 7-0 Cincy. The captain is from the Woodlands, Texas. A Goodyear blimp covering the World Series from up above. Jose Rijo gets a big hand as he walks to the plate. He's 0 for 2, but he has shut out Oakland on 6 hits in 6 innings. Gene Nelson, base hit. Hey, Jim Cott, what do you think about Rijo staying in the game and the bullpen not being employed at this stage?
Well, man, I'm all for it, Jack. I mean, the guy's got a shutout going and gets a base hit. I think sometimes you can reach a little far, maybe, if you take a pitcher out of a game who's got it going like Rijo. He looks just fine from here. Save the nasty boys till later.
Those pitchers stick together, Tim.
Well, I don't know, Kitty. I'm going to have to disagree. I know this isn't any counterpoint or anything like that. But if you're going to start, if this series goes to 7 games, Rio's going to have to start twice on 3 days rest. He's only done it twice this year. He did it once in the LCS.
Oh, we'll see what comes of it. Rijo not only stayed in the game and hit, but got a hit. And strike 1 to Barry Larkin, who was 0 for 2 with a walk. Blame it on Rijo. Earlier, Tim said Rijo is Rojo, red caliente, red hot, and he is. He's having a big night here, as are Hatcher and Davis. Two balls and a strike.
I know Kitty's point. If Rijo has only thrown, say, 90 pitches, 95 pitches with a shutout going, what's the difference in 95 and 130? If you could somehow gauge that and say that if he throws 130, he'd be less effective 3 days from now, then I think Lou would take him out, but not now.
Rijo is out, and so's the batter on a dandy play by Willie Randolph. What a good play by Randolph. Larkin is retired on the 4-3 double play here in the 6th.
Boy, that's a terrific play by a seasoned veteran right there. 42 postseason games. This is his 43rd. Only Davy Lopes and Joe Morgan have played more games at second base in the postseason, and he's never made an error.
He wouldn't let Rijo tangle with him. He let him go by, tagged him, and cleared the runner and got the batter. Wonderful play.
You talk about a classy act. The ex-Yankee captain Willie Randolph.
Billy Hatcher is up. Well, what else is he going to do? He's walked, doubled, scored 3 runs, and driven in a run. Gene Nelson, the third pitcher of the night, throws high. Stewart gave up 4 runs. Todd Burns gave up 3. 1-1. And 3 of the people walked by the Oakland pitchers have scored here tonight. Makes a big difference. Strike. This Oakland club does not have a one-man bullpen. This pitcher is working out there now. Gene Nelson has been very effective for the club all season. And Hatcher fouls it out of play to keep it 1-2. And a good play by a fan. They call this the Queen City of Ohio. We'll look at the downtown area with a new office building in the forefront. It's a nice town. People had a big rally today at noon. 7,000 people downtown. Hatcher stays up there.
That's how the scoring got underway tonight. Eric Davis going downtown on Dave Stewart. He didn't go that far downtown, however.
And that's what started all of this. There's Eric, a 2-run, 2-out home run in the first. And he's also had another hit and a run batted in. Hatcher. What a good play by Lansford, but another base hit for Hatcher. He's on base for the 4th time. He's 3 for 3.
I think instead of starting blocks in track, what they should have is a batter's box. Because, see, when you smell a hit, you run faster. And if more track guys had something to do with baseball, if you put a batter's box there and let them run the 100-yard dash, they'd get there quicker. Because when guys smell that hit, I guarantee you, they can get to first in a hurry.
Hatcher was hustling. O'Neill's the batter. He is 0 for 2 with a walk, a run scored, and a run batted in. Reds are leading here 7-0, 6th inning, and they have out hit the A's 9-6. Two hits in this inning given up by Nelson. He's behind on the count 3-0. Riverfront Stadium, Cincinnati. On the banks of the Ohio, and there's our line score. Game 2 tomorrow night at 8 o'clock here on CBS, 8 Eastern. Welch against Danny Jackson. And a walk to O'Neill. There have been 2 hits and a walk in this inning. So it's Bob Welch and Danny Jackson tomorrow night. There's Bob, a 27-game winner this year. Eric Davis is up. Been here earlier in the year when they've been booing him, but not tonight. He's 2 for 3 with 3 RBIs, and he has 2 on, 2 out. Ball 1.
See, I think the boos come from when you sign a new contract. I think people think you should immediately justify the contract you just signed. If you make $3 million a year, you should be playing like a $3 million player. He's being paid on what he did, not on what he's doing.
2-0 as Nelson struggles.
That's what happens with players like Davis. They sign big contracts, and most of the time, the reason they don't do it is they're trying too hard, not hard enough. Not trying too hard enough. I guess that was clear.
They got him this time, and Gallego steps on the base, and the Reds lead 2. They have left 6. We've played 6. Cincinnati leads it 7-0.
Dominican dandy, and I'm telling you, he was the toughest right-handed pitcher that I faced, Juan Marichal. He is doing the Spanish radio to 50 million people. That is they're being broadcast to over 60 countries, and he is the father-in-law of Jose Rijo. And what a proud papa-in-law he must be tonight.
Here is Ron Hasse, a left-handed batter, pinch hitting for Nelson. We'll see Hasse catching Bob Welch tomorrow night. Rijo has a 6-hit shutout going.
Oh, baby.
And it's 7-0 Cincinnati. And ball 1 to the pinch hitter. There's Rob Dibble in the bullpen waiting to see how Rijo gets along here at the start of the 7th. Hasn't started to throw yet. A good swing by Hasse, 1-1.
Look at this. The Oakland Athletics, when leading after 6 innings, have won 79 of 83. The Cincinnati Reds lead the National League, winning 74 of 80 when leading after 6 innings. So they wrap it up with that bullpen in a hurry.
Yeah, we know why. Hasse leading off, pops it up to O'Neill and right. 1 out in the 7th inning. I guess Lou Piniella is going to go down the line with Rijo as long as he has this shutout going, as Jim Cott suggested earlier.
Well, if that's the case, why is Dibble warming up? Because I would think that with a guy like Dibble who throws so hard, that you're not going to warm him up unless he's going in the ball game.
Yeah, don't waste him out there.
Yeah, right. Here's a guy who could shake hands with you and throw the next pitch 93 miles an hour.
Ricky Henderson, the batter. Ball 1. If you were warming up Dibble in the bullpen, would you wear a mask?
I would wear more than that, Jack.
Henderson has 1 for 3, a double. Ricky gets his 2nd hit of the night. Boy, what a good player he is. Whew. And he'll probably be running despite the score. 7-0. He swiped while he was running earlier.
Well, the Athletics will have the Cy Young Award winner, Bob Welch, in all likelihood, the MVP, and Ricky Henderson. He can do so many things. Many feel that he's the best leadoff hitter of all time, and I'm one of those many.
Oh, yeah. I would throw in with you there. Best leadoff hitter of all time.
That's saying something.
There have been a lot of them. So it's 1 on, 1 out in the 7th inning. And the batter, Willie McGee. That might be a double play. They got 1. Yep. 4-6-3. That's all in the Oakland 7th, and they still trail 7-0.
Coverage of Game 1 of the 1990 World Series is brought to you by Toyota's quality line of cars and trucks. Toyota, I love what you do for me. Nike, who reminds you to just do it. And by Budweiser, the king of beers. Remember, know when to say when.
The score here is 7-0. Bottom of the 7th inning. There's the line score. Started with the Eric Davis home run in the 1st inning, and then the Reds 2 more in the 3rd, and 3 more in the 5th inning against Todd Burns. That kid's wearing both hats. He'll go either. He's like that kid with the 2 hats is like a hitchhiker in a bad town. He'll go either way. On the bench for the A's, Blankenship, Bordick, the new infielder because Walt Weiss is out, and Dave Henderson, and Baines and Jamie Quirk. But that bench, Tim, is rather nullified with a 7-0 score.
That's right. Too many, too quick tonight for the Reds. 2 in the 1st, 2 in the 3rd, and 3 in the bottom of the 5th. And Scott Sanderson. Look at the year Scott Sanderson had. Had probably his finest year with the Oakland Athletics, signing on as a free agent. The Cubs let him go last year, and he signed as a free agent and had a fine year. Big overhand curveball, This is his best pitch.
This Oakland organization goes out and gets what they need. They spend money.
Well, think about it. They signed Mike Moore 2 years ago. They traded for Ricky Henderson last year in the middle of the year. They gave him a big contract. And when they needed 2 left-handers this year before the September 1st deadline, they went out and got Willie McGee and Harold Baines.
College football Saturday on CBS. Penn State battles Boston College. That's live at noon. And then at 3:30, it is Miami traveling to Notre Dame. Miami number 2, Notre Dame number 6. There is a base hit by Hal Morris to start the 7th inning, and he greets Scott Sanderson in rude fashion. So on CBS next Saturday, we'll have Penn State, Boston College, Notre Dame, Miami, Oakland, and the Cincinnati Reds.
A lot of stuff. Good stuff.
Gene Nelson pitched an inning and a third. No runs. Gives way to Sanderson, the 4th pitcher. This fellow is a breaking ball pitcher. Sabo is up. He is singled home 2 runs. And given a walk, he's 1 for 2. It's all Reds here tonight. Ball 2 from Sanderson. Ice cream on a pleasant evening here. A youngster enjoying the game and an ice cream cup. That's ball 3. Leadoff hit by Hal Morris. Anderson drops a strike in there. Base hit by Morris was his first and the 10th for the Reds. Runner going. Foul 3-2. And I guess we've seen the last of Jose Rijo, because with Sabo batting here, nobody out in the 7th inning. Rob Dibble starts to crank it up again. In fact, he's been warming up and he's ready now. Runner at first is going again. And a shot into center field for McGee. He gets it. Tries to double the runner at first base with a good throwing arm, but the runner is back in time. McGee can throw. 1 out.
I'll tell you, one of the proudest cities in the country tonight, Tampa, Florida, because they have spawned 2 guys in this World Series matchup that are both from Tampa. Not only that, they played Legion ball together post 248 in the Tampa area, and they lost in the finals in Miami. And what did Tony tell us? Said that was one of the worst things. He still remembers it. 1959.
In the Legion final, ball 1 to the batter Oliver. Both of those fellas, LaRussa and Piniella, are good friends of a friend of ours, Art Pepin, down there in Tampa.
And Al Lopez.
And Senor Lopez.
Senor, yes, sir.
What a grand gentleman. Tampa loves the nasty boys.
I got a tough time rooting tonight. Tampa's got 2 representatives heading both these fine ball clubs.
2-0 the count. Well, it's starting to become apparent that you Oakland fans out there are going to have to root your club on when you greet them on Friday. Game 2 here tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Eastern on CBS. Then the day off, and then the action Friday in the Oakland Coliseum. And a big swing by Oliver. 2-1. So this is not going to be an automatic victory for Oakland. They're favored coming in, and they should be. There's Eric Davis who will have to be contended with. If he keeps hitting, there's no telling what's going to happen in this series. Morris at first, 1 out. Breaking ball from Sanderson evens the count 2-2. Eric's happy tonight. Now the fans come alive. They want more than 7. Breaking ball and maybe a double play. Gallego bobbles it. They get 1, they get 2. And the inning is over. 6-4-3. We played 7 innings at Riverfront Stadium. 7-0 Reds. Here comes Dibble. Rob Dibble pitch against Jose Canseco. This should be fun as we go into the 8th inning. 7-0 Cincinnati.
I really should. It doesn't matter what the score. Rob Dibble against Jose Canseco. 2 big guys, one who throws hard and one who hits hard. This is fun right here.
They'll both cut it loose. Strike. Dibble's been in 4 postseason games. 5 innings, no hits, struck out 10. Canseco 0 for 1 with 2 walks tonight. 1-1.
Dibble retired 15 of the 16 Pittsburgh Pirates he faced. The only guy who got on was on a walk. He is one of the nasty boys, Rob Dibble.
Fly ball to center field, and Hatcher goes back. 1 out. Hey, Jim Cott, do you have a line on Rob Dibble?
Yeah, he's still driving in the school zone, Jack. He only had that about 94, 95. He doesn't have it cranked up at highway speed yet, but it's quick enough.
94. I'm glad I'm up here.
What school is that, Kitty?
School of high heat.
There's 1 out in the 8th, and the batter's McGuire. Here's another big swinger, another big strike. And Lou Piniella was talking with us tonight. He said the amazing thing about Dibble, as hard as he throws, is that he does throw strikes. And there's another one. But that kick should hit him. That's low. What does the radar show now, James?
Well, he's out of the city, Jack and Tim, in the last couple, 98 and 99.
2-2. Well, if he knew you were clocking him and reporting on him, he'd probably send it up to the century mark. There's Bill White. He could hit the fastball. 3-2. His counterpart is Dr. Bobby Brown, longtime Yankee star, president of the American League. 3-2 to McGuire, who is 0 for 3. And he walked him. I told you he throws strikes. 1 on, 1 out.
Oh, Rob Dibble, Jack and Tim, I think Timmy's point was well taken. Lou Piniella wants to bring Rio back on 4 days, and I think a chance also to give Dibble an inning of experience in World Series play. That first appearance, I think, is always important. Get your feet wet. Piniella going to take that opportunity right here in addition to resting Rio back upstairs.
Here's Carney Lansford. He's had 2 hits and a stolen base tonight. That's something to watch that Dibble throw.
Well, they say heat rises. And if there's any heater that rises more than a Rob Dibble fastball, I know house heat does it. I mean, this guy can blow. There's nothing fancy.
No.
Fastball, slider, and both are about the same speed.
1 on, 1 out. Half swing and a foul, strike 2. Jim Cott is on the field level, and he's watching Dibble and clocking those pitches, so we'll get reports from him. And it is getting a little cooler here at the park as Cott dons the raincoat. 0-2 to Carney Lansford.
See, that's the reason Piniella brings in Dibble. It's getting a little cold, so he brought him in with the heater, right? I mean, he is throwing hard, and Lou knows it and loves it.
7-0 Cincinnati, 8th inning. 1 on, 1 out. This ball away, 1-2. folks are probably aware of the story. He wants to be a finisher with another club or play this role with this team and get more money next year. 2-2. Dibble's problem is that he's rather new to the big leagues and hasn't yet become eligible for arbitration, and that's when the big money comes into play. He lost McGuire after being ahead on the count. And Carney Lansford flies it out to center field to Hatcher for the second out. 2 men gone. Hatcher in center having a good night with the glove and with the bat. Lansford 2 for 4 now. At the plate is Terry Steinbach. He's 0 for 3. And the second baseman can't get it. Steinbach gets his first hit, and there are 2 on, 2 out.
So that's the first hit in postseason play off Rob Dibble. First time they've had 2 runners on base against Dibble. This is his 5th game.
At the moment, this is an 8-hit shutout, plus 3 walks. Oakland has left 8. So this could be a lot different than the 7-0 score that we have.
There it is, Terry Steinbach hitting the high fastball away from him, just over the outstretched glove of Mariano Duncan.
There are 2 on, 2 out. Willie Randolph, ball 1, and it bent the glove back of Oliver. We'll see how they rule on that. As McGuire gets over to third and Steinbach down to second.
Everybody talks about how catchers reach with that new mitt. As you see Randy Myers warming up, he'll probably be the pitcher in the 9th inning. There's no way that catchers can get in front of balls thrown that hard. I mean, you got a 92-mile-an-hour slider. I guarantee you that ball's on top of you. You've got to reach to be a catcher. Bill Dickey, back in the late 50s, said you're not a good catcher until you become a one-handed catcher. And that was really before the era of the breaks in the glove.
Now to Randolph, a strike, and that blistered in there. You saw him in the dugout waving in Paul O'Neill out in right field. He is playing shallow out there with Randolph up. Willie is 1 for 3. As the A's try to get the goose egg off the scoreboard. Shortstop Larkin waits. Rolls, and the shutout is still going. And now Oakland has left 10. And they trail 7-0. And Dave Stewart was chased. He gave up the first 4 runs in the game. Eric Davis with a home run in the first with a man on and another base hit, driving in yet another run. And it's all Cincinnati as they lead 7-0. And a new pitcher for Oakland, and their 5th of the night, is Dennis Eckersley. Jim Cotton, why him?
Well, I think part of the same reason that Rob Dibble's in, the Reds have a big lead. He's getting his feet wet and holding the lead. Dennis Eckersley hasn't pitched in about 6 days. Tony La Russa is saying, hey, I'm going to need this guy sharp before the series is over. Let's get him an inning right now.
Okay, bottom of the 8th inning. 7-0 Cincinnati. And Eckersley pitching to Mariano Duncan at a strike on the corner, and he can paint. Eckersley's control record is astounding.
It's scary. It is.
Foul ball by Duncan, who has had a hit and a walk, 1 for 2. This year, he walked 4 batters, one of them intentionally. And last year, he walked 3 batters.
I guess he's slumping this year.
And he gets a strikeout of Duncan. Well, Rob Dibble is through after pitching 1 inning, giving up a hit and a walk. Todd Benzinger will bat for him. Switch hitter. And in the bullpen, Randy Myers will work the 9th.
He'll work the ninth for the same reason as Jim said, that Dennis Eckersley is working the eighth just to get the work.
Benzinger hits it hard to McGee, and that's the second out of the inning. This Eckersley is about as close a thing to a machine as any pitcher you'll ever see.
You know, we mentioned Kirk Gibson's home run earlier in the game, and you saw that and heard that great call by Jack, that before that he had walked Mike Davis. That's the last hitter that he has walked in postseason play. Mike Davis before the Gibson home run.
That was 88.
1988. That's 2 years ago.
Barry Larkin has a walk, a run scored, and 0 for 3. Ball one from Dennis. And it's going to be a 1-2-3 inning for Dennis Eckersley as Canseco makes the catch and sends us into the ninth inning with the scoreboard saying 7-0 Cincinnati.
Third floor at Riverfront, they have the crown jewels of the Cincinnati Reds, an historic past here, the world champion trophies from the Big Red Machine, 75 and 76, Pete Rose statue. But if you're a real baseball collector, this is the one I think you want. The 1919 baseball from the world champions back then. It's signed by the winning pitcher, Dutch Ruther. And Tim, that's about the only player you haven't told me a story about.
I don't know who Dutch Ruther was. That was the year of the Black Sox scandal, though.
Here's Gallego on a strike, and now foul. Strike two with Randy Myers on the hill for Cincinnati in the ninth.
Cincinnati beat the White Sox 5-3, 5 games to 3. That was when the World Series was 5 out of 9, the best 5 out of 9. 1919, 20, and 21. After having it earlier 5 out of 9 in 1903.
And Myers gets a strikeout of Gallego. There's Willie Randolph. Randy Myers gets a strikeout to start the ninth inning. And the batter is Dave Henderson, pinch hitting for Dennis Eckersley, who had an easy eighth inning. Oakland has won 10 postseason games in a row. Strike one to Henderson. Leadoff man is gone. And the pitch is low. Tim McCarver, the one thing we must establish here, if Cincinnati was going to have a chance to win the series, they had to beat Dave Stewart somewhere along the line, and apparently they've done it here tonight.
And we talked about at the beginning of the show, at the beginning of the game.
Henderson hits it foul, breaks the bat, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes.
I think Dave Stewart was getting the reputation, the well-deserved reputation of being invulnerable. And here Cincinnati comes up. They beat Dave Stewart. He was working on his 6th day. And if they can hold on, and they appear that they will, it will certainly be of psychological benefit going into tomorrow's game. And regardless of the outcome of tomorrow's game, knowing that they have broken a 10-game winning streak going into Oakland on Friday.
And 6 postseason victories in a row by Dave Stewart,
Right.
who last year threw a 5-hit shutout against the Giants in the opening game. And Henderson got a good swing at that one. So a couple of streaks are going down the tube tonight. There's Jose. He'll be the winning pitcher. He worked the first 7 in a 7-hit shutout. Benzinger next to him. And Myers steps off. He is the 3rd hurler of the night for Cincinnati. Now there's 2-2. Henderson is one of these happy people. He's always smiling. 2-2 the count. Oakland has left 10 men on base tonight while being shut out. And another strikeout for Randy Myers. So the Reds have asserted themselves here this evening. They're not only going to win this game, they have asserted themselves as good champions of the National League, capable of winning the World Series. Not that they're going to, but they could. Rickey Henderson is the third man up in the center. And the fans want this game to end right here. They're on their feet. Rickey has had a single and a double, 2 for 4. So he's his old self. And he'll be on display here tomorrow night. And it's Bob Welch against Danny Jackson. We'll see how the left-hander fares against Oakland. Strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Rickey gets his third hit of the night. And he'll shoot down to second base ahead of the throw from Eric Davis. 3 for 5 for Rickey Henderson. And the 9th Oakland hit. By the way, if they leave him on, they will tie a record of leaving 11 men on while being shut out in the World Series game.
Been done 4 times, most recently by the Orioles versus the New York Mets back in 1969. That's real unusual to leave 11 men stranded and be shut out.
Willie McGee has a hit, 1 for 4. He's the only switch hitter in their lineup this evening. Ball 1. The Reds got 2 in the first on the home run by Eric Davis. 2 in the third, a walk to Larkin, double by Hatcher. Infield out by O'Neill. They got 3 in the 5th. Double by Hatcher, single by Davis. 2-run single by Sabo. Hatcher 3 hits and a walk. Davis single and a home run and 3 RBIs. A walk and a 2-run single by Sabo. Has a 7-0 in the 9th, 2 out. And McGee hits it to O'Neill. The Reds have won it. This is what got Cincinnati going in the very first inning. A walk to Hatcher, and this 2-out home run by Eric Davis. And Dave Stewart pitched 4 innings and gave up 4 runs. Pat O'Brien is going to come along with much more here on the heels of the opener, with Cincinnati winning it 7-0.
Riverfront, Cincinnati, Ohio, and I guess the experts were wrong about this one. Game 1 anyway. Cincinnati leads the Athletics 1-0 in the 87th World Series. Game 1 is over for now, and you would have thought they won the World Series to hear the celebration.